Jimmy Johnson recalls not letting the Cowboys eat on a plane after a loss in his Netflix show. The former Dallas Cowboy head coach revealed during a clip in Netflix, America's Team, The Gambler and his Cowboys, that he once prevented the team from eating a meal on a flight home following a loss. After that loss, we got on the plane. I'm just fuming because of the way we played. So the flight attendant started to serve, and I say, no meal. They don't deserve to eat. I want them to be naughty. I want them to be nauseated, to be sick to their stomach when they lose, because that's how I felt. Is this what's been missing from the Cowboys today? A leader that wants to win so badly that he'll take your food away. That's not uncommon. Dan Reeves, that happened to us. We lost the ball game and he took lunch away. Like, I ain't paying for y'all to eat. Y'all hungry? Y'all go get your own damn food. So it's never happened on a plane. And man, you got to realize, like, when you go to get on that plane, because you haven't probably eaten since pregame. And according to when the game was, so, you played the...
For anyone out there who plays football or played football, ain't nothing like that after game meal. So to not eat after the game, and who knows how long that airplane ride was, that's crazy.
You play the early game, you played at 1 o'clock East Coast time, and you get on a plane to fly back home, you haven't eaten probably since 10 o'clock, 10:30 at the absolute latest for a 1 o'clock game. And then by the time you get, because they give you an hour. After the game, you got an hour to basically get from the field to the locker room, get showered, do your interviews, get to the bus, get to the airport, go on the tarmac, you get off. Normally that takes about an hour, about 60, 70 minutes. So think about how long that's been. Now you're on a plane. Now, I don't know where they were coming back from to get to Dallas. Let's just say it's New York. And you haven't eaten till 10, since 10. That's a long time. And now you understand why the Cowboys were how they were. Jimmy trimmed the fat. There was no excess fat in the with the Dallas Cowboys when Jimmy played. And you see? Now, if a coach probably tried to do that now, Jerry said, nah, let them eat. And then guess what? Team's going to eat. But that's old school coaching. I don't know. I don't even know if that'll fly now. Chad, y'all think that would fly now? I don't think that would fly now. Man, I think the players would lose their damn minds if a coach said, nah, we're not finna eat. Nobody's going to eat on the plane home.
Transfer portal.
That's old school coaching. That's the way they did it in the probably 70s, 80s, and 90s. Like I said, not on the plane, but lunch. It happened. And you made sure if you lost the game, you gave better effort. Because I think the thing is what Jimmy said, I wasn't happy with we lost it. I'm ticked off that we lost the game, but I didn't like the effort that we gave in losing the game. Because, you're not going to win every game, but sometimes the effort. You saw yesterday the Bills lost, 38-0, and you see McDermott had a problem. He was upset with them. So it's tough. It's tough. There's an expectation that when you play, especially when you got the Cowboys, you're talking about Emmett, you're talking about Troy, you're talking about Michael Irvin and Charles Haley. I mean, they were all those Hall of Famers. There's an expectation that when you take that field, you can win this game. And even if you don't win, how you play is as important. And Jimmy clearly, but this is Jimmy Johnson. Like I said, there is no excess fat.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's one thing to lose a game, but to not even give out energy to potentially have won it is crazy. That would drive me up a wall if I was a coach. I'd probably make him walk back to the doggone locker room. No buses. But yeah, these professionals can't do that.
Jimmy Johnson is your head coach, be it Oklahoma State, be it Miami, be it Dallas, Miami. Hey, you got to get it. You got to get it. Jimmy Johnson going to get it out you. Whatever you got in, Jimmy's going to get it out you. So I'm not surprised that he said this. I'm not surprised because, talking to some of the guys, they like, hey, Jimmy cracked the whip. Jimmy was not a guy. Jimmy did not BS. Jimmy was hardcore. You know what to expect. And a lot of guys, look, as long as I know what to expect, I'm cool. You go to, it's probably a little different if you never had a coach like that. I mean, that's all Emmett knew. That's what a lot of these guys knew. So it probably wasn't a big thing. It would probably be different if you've been somewhere else and it's not even close to that for 6-7 years, and then you come to that. Like I said, it's always easier to be tough and lighten up as opposed to lighten and then try to toughen up, because guys look at you a certain way. Having Dan Reeves as my coach, an old school guy that cut his teeth under Tom Landry, practices were hard. Training camp was hard. So I know anyone that I got after Coach Reeves was going to be a piece of cake. Ain't no way training camp and practices and could be any more difficult than what I had gone through for 3 years. But I'm not surprised by that. I'm going to make sure I watch this because I want to see, you've heard a little bit of the stories, but to hear Emmett and hear, obviously talking to Emmett, and we came out together in 1990, and Playmaker and I are good friends, but to hear Jimmy from his own mouth, to hear Troy, and hear some of the other guys talk about it, Coach Prime is in it, to hear some of these guys talk about it, that's going to be, I think it's going to be very, very good. And it explains to you why the Cowboys had the success that they had in the early 90s, especially under Jimmy. They had a down year in 94. Well, they didn't have a down year. They went to the NFC Championship game, and then they bounced back in 95 when they get time to come over from San Francisco. They win the Super Bowl in 95, and it's kind of been that Jimmy, I'm sure they are going to tell the story about Jimmy cut a guy that fell asleep in a meeting. And, he cut one guy because he fumbled.
Boy, coaches used to get mad you fell asleep in the meeting. Get out, or stand up, or you running. One of them.
Ball, last game of the season, so they cut him, and then they cut another guy they cut because he fell asleep in the meeting. And a reporter asked him if that was Troy that had fallen asleep in the meeting, would he cut him? He said, no, I'd have woke him up. Just goes to show you treat everybody fair, but you don't treat everybody the same. That's Jim.